Hey everybody, it's Kyle, coming at you live from my car, because that's about the only place I can find some time to record this. Didn't have an episode last week, didn't really plan on that, but I was going to take a break off the week earlier or so, and I never did, so just took a break last week. It was a rough week anyway. I don't know how you guys all did back on that short week after Labor Day, but man, I got hit with a pretty big depression, man. I mean, it kind of took over and went all the way, up until yesterday, Friday, before I started kind of getting back to normal. But man, I don't know. It might have been the weather, but I mean, it's been rainy and gray and all that crap before, and I've not had issues like that, but this particular time I really did. It was kind of crazy. But I got through it, I think a lot of it had to do with communicating about it, letting my wife know and a few other friends and stuff and talking about it, talking it out a little bit. It did just so happen that he did have a therapy appointment too, which was good. But yeah, it was a weird week. I mean, that happened, and then it was also the first week back to school for the kids, and it was rainy and dreary here in the Kansas City area. It was pretty nasty, and so I don't know. I think maybe it all just culminated or what, but it was quite a week. I'm glad it's over with. Now it's kind of started being sunny again today on Saturday, so thank goodness. What is bugging me? I'm not going to get into Trump calling our military and killed in action and missing in action losers and suckers, but I totally believe he did. I would almost guarantee he did. If you've ever heard him talk, even about John McCain, who I'm not a big fan of John McCain. I wasn't. But I respect his service, and I respect what he went through being a POW for 5 years in Vietnam, man. I mean, I can't even imagine what they put that dude through in that time that he was a POW. It's miraculous that he lived afterwards, to be honest with you. I'm not going to get into all that, and I'm not going to get into the other 400 things he said since the last time I've talked to you that have been totally and completely inconsiderate and ignorant, okay? I am going to get into this. Professional athletes and professional personalities, stars, singers, whatever, they have the right to express their concern over what's happening in our country. I mean, they may be a little bit out of touch as far as they may be living the rich, grand life, and they may have forgotten what it's like to, most Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and most people are barely getting by. And a lot of people, this pandemic is wreaking havoc on their lives. A lot of people have lost people. But it's been a hell of a time, and what with these, I'm going to just straight out call them murders by the police. It is bizarre to me that no one's been brought to justice for Breonna Taylor also. I got to say, it's remarkable to me. But between that and between what's his name? I can't even think of his name now. He pisses me off. It's Sharp and whatever in the morning. Undisputed. I can't even remember the turd's name. But he came out against Dak Prescott, kind of. Dak Prescott is quarterback. I believe it's Dak Prescott. Sorry if it's not. Dak. He came out. He's a quarterback for America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. I've never been a big fan, but, I respect them, and I respect that organization somewhat. And I had a roommate who's a huge fan of them, so everybody's fan. I've been an Atlanta Falcons fan forever, and there are people that hate the Atlanta Falcons, so whatever. But anyway, he came out and talked about the depression that he's been going through over the last year. His brother died a year ago, and it's kind of wreaked havoc on his world and really put him in a bad spot, in a bad position, and he's just trying to get by. And so during a pretty big interview, he mentioned that and talked about it a little bit, outright and forthright, like I've talked about what's gone on with me in my life. And this dipshit came out and said, well, I don't know how you can lead a team if you're admitting your weakness. Like, motherfucker. Do you know how much strength it takes to come out in front of everyone and say that you're going through depression? That you have depression? You're diagnosed with depression? Do you know what that means? It doesn't mean that you're fucking temporarily bummed out, dumbass. Look, I had a spell this week of it. It was intense. But it's always here. It's here now while I'm talking to you guys. It was here this morning when I woke up. It'll be here when I go to sleep. Sometimes it's way, way more intense and almost crippling. That's what was going on this week for me. Other times I can go by for a long time knowing that it's there, but it doesn't keep me from living my life normally and being my goofy self and all those things. And this week it really did. So depression is not about, oh, I'm bummed out or I'm sad. I mean, there is that aspect to it. Depression is about your brain not making the right correct connections. Sorry, not corrections. The right connections between one side to the other, letting you know that it's irrational to think these thoughts. Or these thoughts are just throwaway thoughts. Or these thoughts are nonsensical or highly illogical. But anyway, it really sucked to hear that. It really sucked to hear it. But then I stopped and I thought about who it was that was saying this. And guess what? It was an old white guy. I know. Crazy, man. But old white guys have this disease. Number one, they think everything that they say matters. Okay? That's the first deal. Number two, they think that everything they say is right because they've been around a long time. And number three, all of that shit is backed up in their minds by thousands of years of oppressing everyone else, including women, different colored people, and different sexualities, and all that stuff. You know, theoretically, I should be an old white guy based upon everything that I am, but I'm not. I don't have that mentality because my honest feelings and thoughts are people are different, and if what people are doing isn't hurting anybody, then I really don't fucking care at all, and it's none of my business, right? But not this dude. He's going to make it his business. I wonder if it would have been Tom Brady that came out and said that, if he would have said that same shit. I bet he wouldn't have. I bet anything he wouldn't have. Bet almost anything. That's what really sucks about it. And, you know, other than the fact that it also sucks because not only does he not know anything about depression, but he also doesn't know anything about leading a fucking pro football team. So Skip Bayless, I think is his name. Skip. Yeah, Skip. There you go, Skipper. Sorry if anybody's name's Skip, but, you know, I doubt anybody listening to this podcast is named Skip. You know, not if you've been listening for a while. You probably wouldn't still be listening. But anyway, that motherfucker came out and said that shit, and I just was floored. And again, I'd like to see his proof of understanding what it takes to lead a pro football team, because other than writing about other people doing things, that he doesn't seem to know shit about shit, right? He seems to know about what it's like to live an entitled white man's life. That's it. He doesn't really know fuck else. So that's what's bugging me this week. I mean, there's that aspect of it. There's the aspect of Donnie Dump and the shit that he says sometimes is the same exact thing. He claims to be an expert on every goddamn thing that exists in this world. And I'll tell you what, he ain't an expert on shit except being the worst president of all time and the biggest asshole ever. All right? And he's also not even really a good expert on spray painting yourself orange to look like you're tan. He's actually not very good at that. So, you know, I guess what I would say is, hey, white fellas out there, or just anybody in general, if you don't know something about something, that's okay. It's okay even to admit that you don't know something about something. You cannot know everything about everything, and no one believes that you know everything about everything, and 9 times out of 10, you should just shut your ass. And this is just another instance of it, and I would just tell people, keep that in mind when you're going through your life, you're living your life. Sometimes when you say that you know something about something when you don't, it can hurt other people and piss other people off. So I'm sure Shannon Sharp is like, fuck, our show's fucked now. And it probably is, Shannon. But, you know, you should have been hanging out with that old stupid ass anyway. You know? That dude sucks. You're a real athlete, Shannon. Why don't you do a show with another real athlete? A man who's actually done these things and knows anything about what he's talking about. Instead of just some young kid who loved watching sports and writes about it all the time. And grew up to be an old fart that likes sports and writes about it all the time. Who claims to know so much about it because he's been doing it for so long. That's not an athlete. That's not someone whose professional opinion I value when it comes to writing about what other people do. All right? I value the people who've been there and done that. I don't value the people who talk about people who've been there and done that. Sorry. Not my game. But yeah, that's what's bugging me, and I'm going to take a break, and I got a couple things I got to do real quick. I'm actually running an errand for my, believe it or not, I'm going to go to Ulta Beauty, guys, and I am going to go buy, makeup for my daughter. Yeah, I am not excited about that at all. However, the big reason I opted to do that and chose to go ahead and help out by doing that is not because I know anything about makeup, because I do not. The reason that I chose to do it and all that is so I could record this episode, because I felt kind of bad not giving you guys an episode last week. So I've got to run in and go get this makeup made by this dude who is an makeup expert on YouTube and now sells his own makeup, and a couple other quick errands, and then I will be back after that to talk about some things that I'm into. And there's some exciting news too on the front of vinyl that I've experienced recently that makes me very, very happy, something that I got in this week. So I will catch you guys on the other side, and we'll finish this up. Oh, yeah, sorry. I got to throw it to commercials. So, hey, Kyle. Okay, and I'm back. Hey, everybody. So, what am I into right now? Well, the biggest thing I'm into right now is all the new records that I've gotten recently through Record Store Day, a couple other things I picked up here and there. But as you'll remember, I was unable to procure a copy of the 25 years unpublished debut album by Bone Thugs and Harmony, Creepin' on a Come Up. I really wanted that. I mean, that was one that I really, really was trying to get a hold of on Record Store Day, but was sold out like almost immediately. So come to find out, there was only 4,000 copies produced, which is insane. But it's very, very limited release. And I think the same goes for that Lou Reed, John Cale record, Songs for Drella, that I got too. But they only printed very, very few of those. So it's no wonder I didn't find one. They probably had one copy and somebody through the line got it before I did. So that's okay. But I was able to find one on eBay, and it was selling for pretty close to the same amount that they were selling it on Record Store Day. Between shipping and between a little bit of an upcharge for the person who had it, I paid about $10 extra, which is fine by me. I can totally see that. For something that I was really desiring and is very limited production like that, I'm totally cool with paying an extra 10 bones for it. Suffice to say, it's actually already selling for more than what I paid for it at the expanded rate. But I took it out and listened to it, and holy shit. It is amazing. It sounds so good, so crystal clear, just so well mixed. And, I didn't used to be the biggest Bone Thugs and Harmony fan, and I'm still really not a huge fan, but, man, I really like that record, And I've listened to some more of their records on Spotify, some more of their albums after that, and I like them, man. I might have to get a couple more of their albums. It's also beautiful, and I'll put the pictures in there. You guys can go take a look at the photo album of the Spins recently, and you'll see these pictures I got of it. But it's a real nice, clear vinyl. Again, I don't like color vinyl, but they're doing nice things with it. And then it's got a splatter of black and white on it. Black and red on it. It looks really wild. The coolest thing that I noticed, though, that's very authentic, is they have the original center sticker on the record for Ruthless Records. I thought that was really cool. It looks awesome. Anyway, I was very excited to get a hold of that. And the person I got it from actually threw in a Lena Horne Greatest Hits record, too, which is kind of funny. It doesn't really go with Bone Thugs and Harmony, other than everybody's African-American. But other than that, but yeah, and I'll listen to that too. I like Lena Horne, actually. But yeah, that coupled with the other records I've gotten recently, I did pick up some records on Labor Day sale. They had buy two, get one free of used items. So I snagged a cherry copy of Dreamboat Annie by Heart. What a great album. I mean, good Lord. Great record. So I snagged a cherry copy of that. And as I dug through more, I found Carole King Tapestry, which is an incredible record as well. Really good copy of that. And then I did find another record by, oh man, I'm so horrible with names. I don't know. I'll put it up. Man, I'm becoming old. Sorry, guys. Not REO Speedwagon. But, right. You bloody well right. That band. I cannot think of their name off the top of my head. Horrible. Anyway, I got an album of theirs that I'd never heard before. And it actually has a song on it that I've heard. So that was kind of wild to see too. But so yeah, great deal. Got those 3 new records. They're good. They go right there in the collection. Good stuff. Supertramp. God damn. Supertramp. It's like a high wire or something it's called, but yeah, it's a good record, man. I really like it. All Supertramp records are pretty damn good, to be honest with you. But yeah, so that's what's going on in the music world right now. I still have my limited edition copy of Run the Jewels 4 on the way. Don't know when that's coming. I think it's supposed to come this month still. So let you know when I get a hold of that too. Maybe get some imagery of that thing. But it should be pretty cool too. I think it's pink LPs. Yep. Let's see. What else am I into right now? I've been watching a lot of different things. Did start watching some Hitchcock movies with the wife. She'd never really seen many Hitchcock movies. I mean, she knows about it. Everybody knows about Hitchcock, but she hadn't watched some of them. So I brought out a bunch of DVDs I had, and she pulled the first one that she was interested in, which was Rebecca with Laurence Olivier and Joan Fontaine. from 1940, Alfred Hitchcock film. They actually just redid it 80 years later. It comes out this fall. I believe it's on Netflix, but it's Armie Hammer, and I cannot remember the other woman's name. But it also has a woman from The English Patient in it, too, who plays Miss Danvers. But they totally sexed it up and everything, which makes sense because it's 2020. But at the same time, there's something magical about the innocence and everything in the original film. So, I don't know. Probably not interested in seeing the new version. Also, it's another film where it's like, really? I mean, why are you remaking that? You know? I don't think it's going to piss anybody off remaking it, other than maybe me. And I'm sure Alfred's rolling in his grave a little bit. But, and Daphne du Maurier, who wrote it, is probably going, ugh. But, you know, it just seemed unnecessary. That's all. And Armie Hammer, dude, go away, Armie Hammer. That guy's still around? I thought he was the Lone Ranger. Kimosabe, please quit making movies. Let's see. And what else was I going to say? That's about it in movies and stuff, too. I did go ahead and subscribe to Shudder. Yeah, it's only $5.99 a month, and I think if you get a year, it goes down to like $4.75 a month. So 56 something a year. I think I'm going to do that, but I'm going to try it for a few months for $6 a month, see what I think about it, and take it from there. But I got a feeling I'm going to like that streaming network a lot. I know they got a lot of original stuff. I've watched Creepshow and Blood Machines and a few other things that they've done that I'm interested in. But, I'm just going to face the music, man. And I'll talk about that movie in a second, too. But I love horror films, and I love freaky, scary, sci-fi type weird stuff. I always have. Why the hell would I not subscribe to Shudder? It only makes sense. I've done a trial of their stuff before, and I liked it. But, yeah, I'm going to stick with that. I think I'm going to like that. And I think my kids will like it, too. They really like horror movies, Let's see. What am I reading? Absolutely nothing, man, because I'm a loser, and I quit reading. But, the wife got me a Hap and Leonard book, paperback for my birthday, and I've read a couple stories in it. It's a bunch of Hap and Leonard short stories, but it's a few others that I've never read by Joe Lansdale, so I need to pick that up and do that. But I also need to finish Jane Goes North and Supermarket, so I got things in line to be doing as far as reading. And that's really about it, guys. I can't think of much else to say as far as stuff that I'm into now. We're on the last couple of episodes of the 5th season of Schitt's Creek, so we're almost done with that and anxious for the new season to come on Netflix, the last season. And then we also, we started watching The Boys, but we only watched the first 2 episodes. So we kind of held off on the third, even though the first 3 came out the first week there. But we kind of wanted to be able to have a few to watch at a time. So I don't know if they released just episode 4 this week. But if they did, that works out perfectly. We can watch 3 and 4 together. But, man, it's going to be a hell of a season. I can't wait for that. That show is something else, man. Not for the faint of heart. If you can't handle extreme, gory, horrific violence and really kind of sick thoughts when it comes to sexual stuff and, then don't watch it. Because it's rough, man. It is rough. It's not for everybody. Definitely. Let's see. What else? That's about it. Haven't watched Mulan. My daughter has watched it, and I think she was digging on it, but I don't know. I have to decide if I'm going to watch that or not. Not really sure. I won't be protesting it because of the whole China thing, but probably should think about that because what they're doing to those people is pretty horrible. And if Disney didn't know that that's where they were filming that to begin with, okay. But they certainly didn't have to put a thanks to these people that are involved with dark sides of the Chinese government and stuff and re-educating these people in the end credits. That's where they kind of went fucking wrong because that's where people caught it, and that's what people were pissed about. So, Shame on you, Disney. You got to do better, guys. But yeah. And then I know The Mandalorian, they said, I think is coming out October 30th or 31st. I can't remember. But I'm ready for season 2 of that. And I know the Obi-Wan series or the Ben Kenobi series is going to be a limited series. So I don't think it's going to be ongoing. I think it's just going to be like so many episodes and then it's done, which is okay. But I'm looking forward to that as well. That won't be until next year for sure. WandaVision by Marvel should be coming on there before the end of the year as well. And I think Loki, they pushed that off till next year. And a lot of things are going to get pushed off till next year, guys. This virus thing, I don't think is going to be going away anytime soon, and we're just going to have to live with it a little bit longer. I wouldn't be surprised if next year will be a little easier going than this year, but I still think we're going to be in the thick of it for quite a while. It might start thinning out and settling down next summer, but I don't think that's going to happen this year or even in the winter or spring. So hang in there, guys. I know it's depressing. I know it's a bummer, but we can get through this. I mean, there's so much stuff for us to be able to do at home. We can still go out and grab a bite, or we can order in. Look, for this to happen now, this is probably, even though there's no good time for a pandemic, obviously, but this would be about the best time in human history, or at least American history, for this to happen, because we still have so many options open to us. So keep that in mind when you're bitching and crying about it. That's it, guys. I got nothing else to say about it. I'm going to get this thrown up in the next day or two, so you guys have something early into next week. I might push off this, so I would count this one for these 2 weeks, and then start fresh again the week after next, and every Wednesday, just like normal. Bear with me. I'm trying to get it rolling again. Like I said, pretty soon we're going to do some special episodes here and there. I know Mikey and I are both buying hot sauces that are going to blow our asses out. But we're excited to do another version of that this winter. And that should be fun as well. Of course, we'll get Stripes in there to make the calls and everything, just like we had last time. And we got to have Jerry there for his commentary as well. I will try to actually really record the video this time. So it should be a little bit, you should be able to go watch a little YouTube of it as well. So hang in there, guys. Take it easy. Peace out. I'll catch you guys in about a week and a half. And, get off my lawn.